Hey gang, we are in Kensington and Chelsea, London, England, and this is Kensal Green, one of the magnificent 7 historical cemeteries here in the London area. And today here we're just going to take a walk and look around. Nobody in particular. Well, there is one person in particular, Lady Jane Franklin. We're going to find her grave, but otherwise there's some interesting graves, and we'll have a look around and see what we find. Look at all the old statuary and gravestones. This is what we wanted. Look at this. Fantastic. Let's go look. Dredge. The dreaded dredge. I wonder what the story is here. Sacred to the memory of Henry Eugene Jenkins and to Caroline Jenkins. What a fantastic place this is. Endless monuments. Take a look at that. And as an architect, I've never really seen this before. The deflection of stone like that. That could be limestone. I don't think, marble would do that. I'm not sure if that's marble or not, though. Thomas O'Hagan and wife Ada. The sky is falling in your mausoleum. You know, you look around here and it's just amazing. You think about, there are people here, men that fought at Waterloo against Napoleon. Just that is... It's hard to wrap your head around that. It's amazing history, right? All right, let's keep going. Let's look in here. Looks pretty barren. Look at this statue. They almost come alive, don't they? I wonder if that's a mausoleum or storage area. I wonder what this is. What's in there? Fun to explore, isn't it? You just never know what you're going to see. Wow. There's something over here that I noticed I want to show you guys. It's kind of odd. On the north side, there's this repetitive, these like openings that go down to something. There's a whole bunch of them all in a line, and they're like bricked. They're lined in some type of stone. And there's like cold air coming up. It's like really weird. I wonder what's down there. There's got to be something down there. All right, well, I met Peter, and he told me there are catacombs down there, and he said that I could go down there with him. Oh. I think he's opening I think this is the chapel. So he handles special projects. There he is. Oh, look at this. So it's the chapel, huh?
Yeah, so this is the main chapel, obviously in a state of disrepair, but This is it. Okay, please go ahead.
Interesting. Well, let's see what's going on here. All right, I'll follow you. All right, we've got lights. Down we go.
Yeah.
Ooh. Look at this.
So this is the main passageway
Okay.
in the catacombs, and then there's passages run off to the north and south.
Okay.
So this is Kensal cemetery catacombs. The metal poles you see in front of you, they're actually for the catafalque that sits up in the chapel. These poles here.
Oh, the poles.
Yeah. And so
These look like columns holding up oh no, this is a jack system.
yeah, so it holds up the catafalque, which sits upstairs. The coffin will come in and rest on the catafalque. They have a service, and then the catafalque comes down under its own weight.
Yeah, it's like a hydraulic, it looks like.
Yeah, and then it is pumped back up, so it comes down under its own weight. It's pumped back up by a beautiful bit of Victorian equipment, which is just around the corner here. So that's...
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so there's two men need to pump, and it pumps back up. Good working.
And it still works. Look at the piston hydraulics.
Yeah.
That looks like a counterweight there.
Yeah.
And then your lever. Interesting.
Yeah. So there we are. That's solid. And then it's just various vaults throughout.
With coffins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's look at, we'll do if something catches my eye, I'll stop.
Yep.
So these look like mini.
Boiler, which no longer operates, obviously.
Yeah.
And so some vaults family vaults, such as this one.
Oh yeah, look. Rusty old coffins. It looks like metal, but no, it could be metal on wood.
So what
It's
it is,
wood, right?
It's wood on the outside,
Yeah.
and then it's lead on the inside.
On the inside, it's lead.
Yeah, so they all have anything that's, they term it above ground. We're not above ground, we're below ground. But any mausoleum type situation requires the coffin to be lead lined. Yeah.
1847.
Yeah.
Mary Hankey. Interesting. Okay. And there are a host of coffins in there. Look at that. Interesting.
Yeah. And then, as you can see, there's various situations. So the vault you just saw was a family vault, whereas this is a whole lot of different people. So, and that one, for example, you can't see any wood left. It's just the
lead.
It's just the lead lining.
Lead coffin.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that was common.
Yeah.
There's one up there. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a child's coffin.
Small one, yeah. Child, huh?
Yeah, child coffin.
Very interesting. Look at the hardware. Okay.
Once again, these are separate ones, separate people.
Oh yeah, all
There's
behind cages.
2 coffers in there.
So this is Margaret Manderson, 1846, 41 years old. Look at the ornamentation on there. And then it looks like children.
Yeah, there's a lot of children in here, unfortunately.
From the diseases, right?
Yeah.
I love this is Catacombs. Look at the architecture,
Yeah.
the vaulted ceilings, masonry.
This vault is probably the most recent burial in the catacombs. So there's
Ooh.
just 2 in there.
Wood. Oh, this is in good shape, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's only a few years old.
This always frightened me growing up. We had a picture in my grandmother's house where the eyes would follow you.
Oh, right.
That's in the United States, I think that was a thing. But look at, you can see the top is deflecting. This is this looks like oak.
Yeah, that's an oak one.
And as you see the shelves.
This is in a bit of disrepair,
Uh-huh.
obviously.
For the top.
The grate from the top. It's come down.
Oh yeah, so they all were protected years ago.
Yeah. And the cemetery doesn't hold keys to the vaults.
No keys?
So no, so that it's just the owner or the owner
Okay.
holds the vault, holds the key.
Now look at this vent up here. And by the way, available. Let's go.
Yeah,
How much?
a lot.
I'll bet it's a lot. Look at it's really interesting. So look at this is where I was up here.
Yeah, so this is the outside, and this is the method of letting air in through the catacombs.
Right. A little skylight, but air, ventilation, very important.
So the catacombs covers the whole area
Underneath.
underneath.
Wow, it's a lot.
It's a large catacomb.
Wow, let's try another corridor. That was really interesting. Yeah, relatives aren't coming anymore to visit, huh?
So there is one lady who comes.
This is spooky.
Um,
Basket.
and she rings us up and arranges the time, and we can come down to visit the particular.
So it looks like there's there's 3 corridors deep.
Yeah.
6 total going each way. Look at this.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Child, look how small that is.
Yeah.
That is very small.
This one is what's loosely called
Oh.
temporary deposit.
Oh, wow.
So they're intending to shift the coffin away to another location.
So this is like a holding crypt also.
Yeah. So anything like this is in a
Holding crypt.
Yeah.
Okay, temporary. It's a coffin. Casket.
Yeah.
So this would have been like in the last month or 2. Or
No.
maybe not. No?
I've been here for a long time.
A long time?
Yeah.
Still holding.
Yeah. So there's not so many in this corridor. This is a family vault, quite a large vault. Look at the size of that coffin. Monster.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Wow. Looks like a Viking. Huh. Look at that. Can't really read, but yeah, there's some big wooden ones here. Look at that. All right.
Wander down a couple more if you like.
All right, so that's number 1.
These are all items that have been repaired, that have come off the walls in various places,
Okay.
and they're being restored back up here.
So it's 1850, 1841.
Yep.
All mid 1800s, it looks like. And of course, back then, this was pristine and beautiful, and people were coming here.
Yeah.
Look at this one, even has like artifacts, like a pot,
Yeah.
ceramics.
So they're a bit different. They have a glass front.
Yeah. Look at the wood, how it's. Yeah, all the moisture you can imagine.
Yeah. Well, in fact, there was a lot more moisture here at one point. Towards the end of 2023, we actually had all the roofs repaired, and that stopped a lot of the water actually coming down in Catacombs.
Oh, look at this. Henry Crid and 1890, 72 years old.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's just so many in here.
Yeah. It's actually about only half full.
Half full?
So there's capacity for 4,000 and there's roughly 2,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that many.
Yeah.
Look at these big iron doors. Cast iron, guys. All right. So look at this little thing. A little coffin in there. Never seen anything like that before. That is the size of just bigger than a shoebox.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
This
this.
one's different in the sense that it's a relatively modern one to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this was the 1980s.
When?
1982 was,
Oh, it's pretty recent.
yeah.
Okay. So, yep, more of the same. This looks interesting here. So this came apart. All the kids, look at
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Right up at the top. Oh, this is a good example of a lead
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
lead
so-
inside the wood.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting. Ooh. The spider and the lead coffin.
Yeah.
Lily. Yeah, a lot of children. Look at that up there. That's really wide.
Yeah.
Super wide lead.
Yeah.
It's different.
There's one with the crest on it.
Oh, look at that. Fell family.
And they've actually put a dehumidifier.
Oh, those are some. Oh, they got a dehumidifier in here. Look at those coffins. They are
Very ornate, aren't
very ornate. Last Supper.
they?
Interesting. They have all the shells for the future. Here's one that's come apart.
Another few.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a steamer trunk,
It does, doesn't it?
right? Going to, that could be Count Dracula going to, on the ship to Transylvania, or from Transylvania. Look at that. That thing is massive. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'll try and step back here. You could look at the difference from the other coffins. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful.
You see the bottom one?
Oh yeah, look at that. Yep. That is the real deal.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Once again, a lot of children at the top.
Yeah. All the kids. Ah, my gimbal is giving me a hard time. There. Look at those little ones, babies.
Yeah.
It's an interesting nameplate. Ooh, look at these doors. Wow. Family vault of John Travers, Esquire. Not getting in there. That is rusted through.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that lead coffin in there. Oh, yeah. Very interesting. We're in 192. There's 193. James Hosier, formerly of Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, this is different.
So this is the vault that's continued to be regularly visited.
Hirsch? Who's this?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. So they come and light the candles.
So it's still active.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then down this way, I think there's not a lot that they didn't see this one because it's pretty much the same as past ones.
Oh, look
But
at
in
this.
Final one.
Look at this.
This used to be quite a popular, once again these are in transit, but the glass bowls used to be quite a popular way of leaving flowers with people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually now underneath the road.
We're under the road.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can get James Moore, 1849, died 1935. Can't read that one. Ooh, what's in here? Looks like a tunnel.
Just the way it was designed.
Just a vault.
Yeah.
Boy, look at that. This thing's massive. Just massive. I wonder who's in there. Children. Look how little those are.
Full of empty vaults here.
Yeah, empty vaults.
Down here where the platform is, we recently had a celebration for, you'll see the box up on the top right hand side there. That actually contains ashes. That's the ashes of a person who's the first person in the cemetery cremated.
Oh, okay.
So cremation probably came in the UK a lot later than it did in America, I expect.
So early 1900s, maybe?
Yes. What actually happened there was that box had totally disintegrated. We have a group here at the cemetery called the Friends of Kensal Green, and as part of the celebration of the anniversary, they reconstructed the box and put the urn of ashes back into the box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's Jeanette Pickersgill.
Interesting.
Otherwise, all pretty much as before.
$1880. Look at all these coffins. Wow, just stacked. All right.
So there we are. That's pretty much.
That's it. Well, thank you. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Kensal Green Cemetery.
All right. Well, thank you, Peter.
You're most welcome.
Let me just shake your hand now. I'm going to call it. And I really appreciate you taking me through. That was
You're
really neat.
most welcome.
Yeah.
Always happy to take visitors.
All right,
through.
sir. Thank you. Well, you guys, I have to say, I am humbled to be at this grave right here. This is the grave of Lady Jane Franklin. She's the wife of Sir John Franklin. Have you seen the movie The Terror? This is the real story. As many of you know, I spent over 10 years searching for the ships in the high Arctic, HMS Erebus and Terror. And in 2011, I photographed HMS Erebus from the air from my de Havilland Beaver solo expeditions. But it's quite a story. 2 ships left England. Many men, crew, and officers. And they would never come back. And this is the grave of Lady Jane. Like I said, the wife of Sir John, who was the leader and admiral of this ill-fated expedition to find the Northwest Passage. All started in 1845, departing here. And you can see her name. She lived till 83. 83 years old, Lady Jane. Never to be reunited with her husband. And all the men, all hands were lost, frozen, and left there to die. Cannibalization of each other. I have a blog of my expedition work. I will leave a link below in the description. But this is just something else to be at Lady Jane's. She fought just valiantly for the search missions to go. The Admiralty was kind of lame. They really didn't do what they should have done at the beginning. It was a 3-year expedition, and it took longer than that for them to get off their butts. But there were private expeditions, including Americans, who went looking for them. Francis Hall, a story that that's what got me started on all of this, an American who went looking for Sir John Franklin. It was McClintock who found them, well, not found them, but found the first signs of John Ray. Just Boat Place, it was called. Found a lifeboat with bones and supplies. And that's where these men died. They just froze to death up there. All right, well, rest in peace, Lady Jane. You are reunited with John, Sir John, whose remains are somewhere under the ice or in the ocean near Cambridge Bay and King William Island in the high Arctic, Canada. Rest in peace. Let's find the grave of one of Winston Churchill's children. Her name was Marigold. She's buried right here. This little plot here. Here lies Marigold, dear child of Winston and Clementine Churchill, 1918 and 1921. Look at that. She was nicknamed Duckadilly. She died just before her 3rd birthday. She's the 4th child of Clementine Hosier and Sir Winston Churchill. She was born only 4 days after the armistice ending World War I. Little Marigold Francis was loved by her parents, and she caught a cold at the age of 2. The illness progressed. Just got worse and worse, and then there was a blood infection which attacked her immune system, so she succumbed to the illness about 7 weeks before her 3rd birthday. 2019, the Churchill family acted on a long-term desire to reunite her remains with the rest of the family, so she's actually not here anymore. But this monument remains. It's now an empty grave. Little Marigold. Duckadilly. Rest in peace. A cozy spot for ye pigeons. Don't you love this? Sir Lancelot. Major General Sir Archibald Galloway, KCB of the Bengal Army. He died at 71 years old on the 6th of April, 1850. Love that. That is neat. All right, let's go look at some more graves and some neat monuments and mausoleums. The vines groweth. Look at all the stones, guys. feel like I'm walking back in time. Who are fans of T-Rex? I am. You guys know that. Stephen Ross Porter, Steve took from the band. And they've got a gargoyle here for him. He's one of the founding members. Mark Bolan was 17 when he answered an advertisement in the paper, and T-Rex was born. Although Steve here worked with the Pink Fairies and other notables such as members of Hawkwind, it was not until after his death that some of his original work was released. His best song, Amanda, great songwriter here. He died just over 3 years after Mark Bolan, 1980. His death certificate says cause of death as being asphyxiation after inhaling a cocktail cherry. So like a lot of the other rock bands, same ending. But drugs were not listed as a contributory factor, even though his death is often listed as drug misadventure, quote unquote. Rest in peace, Steve. Rest in peace. Did not bring the snake camera, unfortunately. But this looks like a jungle inside. I can already see through here. Ooh, there's birds in there. Pigeon coop. My pigeon coop I open up, and out the pigeons fly so high. My dad used to sing that. Anybody hear that song? Maybe it's a Chicago thing. My pigeon coop I open up, and out the pigeons fly so high. And that'll be enough singing on Faces of the Forgotten. How do you like the tour so far? This is fun, just wandering, and got a few more graves that two or three that I'm interested in seeing. We're walking towards, but we'll see what else we find on the way. This is really intriguing. Dominus. Dominus is the name that the devil does not like. Now look at this. This is really interesting here. A medieval effigy. No, it's kind of between an effigy and a relief. A relief is where it comes. This is more of a relief, I would say. Effigy is kind of the statue completely coming out of the back set, the background, and a relief is kind of just the initial surfaces. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? It's held up pretty good. Held up pretty good. You can't read anything on the epitaph. Now this looks like Mausoleum Row here, and I see a sphinx kind of thing, so let's check that out. But before we do, this is an interesting grave here. George Cruikshank. He was the artist for Charles Dickens. Designer, etcher, painter. 1792. He died in 1878. Born here in London to Scottish parents. He apprenticed with his father, who was a printmaker, and at age 18, he was already famous as a political cartoonist, ridiculing English life, and soon made him the most popular satirist in the Regency period here. Liked so much that when George IV came to the throne in 1820, he allegedly had George here paid off to leave the royal family out of his attacks. Leave us alone. But George here, he was the guy who illustrated sketches by Boz and the Mudfog papers, Oliver Twist, memoirs of Joseph Grimaldi, and the tale, The Lamplighter's Story. Really cool. We're stepping back in time here, folks. Rest in peace, George Cruikshank. So let's take a look here at this, oh gosh, extended snake camera right here, guys. What I would give to get a ladder and peek in there. Only the pigeons know. Only the pigeons know. Lot to see here. Look at this coat of arms. The knight, a suit of armor, headdress. Boy, you could spend weeks in here checking this stuff out, huh? Here's definite Egyptian revival if I've ever seen it. Holy cow. They went all out on this one. Andrew Duckrow. Let's get a zoom in on that. Could probably look him up on Find a Grave. Find out all about him. There's even a honeybee nest up there. Look at that. With a little opening to go in. Flanked by two angels here. And we do have, oh, this is the main entry here, which is, as many, completely closed up because of the vandals. So this is the family tomb. Interesting. What do you suppose this is? Let's take a final look, by the way. So the honeybee thing on both sides. This is quite elaborate, guys. Look at that. Give you a little detail from the top down. Quite elaborate. Wrought iron, holding up pretty well. Anyway, back to this. Looks like a horse. Was a horse. All right. Boy, I have to say, after Highgate, this place is second to none. I haven't even gotten to a lot of the, well, there's 3 more that I want to see, but this is, it just goes on and on. Pretty amazing. Nobody here. Quite peaceful. Oh, look at this up here. And over here on the right, there's a exquisite mausoleum, but look at this. William Frederick Meredith. There he is, or there he was. Both were 54 years old when passing. There is a massive mausoleum up here. Quite elaborate in the Gothic style. Boy, that is amazing. It's a big family plot here. Coat of arms up there. We'll take a shot of that. And there's an angel too. Magnificent. Oh, there's another Egyptian revival on the right there, but this is definitely the road to walk. I wonder who this is. Look at that in slumber. William Mulready, artist, a Knight of the Legion of Honor. All right. Famous guy. A lot of famous people here, folks. Look at this. Wow. I haven't seen one like this, even in Chicago. Major General, the Honorable Sir William Casement. Got those servants. Let's see if we can get this one over here. There, that's a better view of the face. Remarkable sculpture. I believe that's marble, and you can see how it's melting away. Oh, Bengal, not Egyptian. Bengal. Correct me. India. That is India. The Ronalds. And you can see the old door. It's only partially covered up. Wrought iron. (1868) was erected. This is an interesting mausoleum. Wow, another pretty amazing relief up there. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that. That is interesting. Laying a woman or a man, looks like a woman, to rest. Or is that Jesus? Is that the apostles? Is that Jesus in the shroud? You guys tell me. Looks like it. It's an interesting work here. Screening. Protecting the glass. Oh, there's a sarcophagus in there. Can't really see. Let's see if we can see from the back. No. And the front is closed. Oh well. Egyptian revival right here. See a lot of that. They were fascinated with when Howard Carter and they found King Tut. It was the fashionable thing. You see this a lot in the cemeteries here. The ones who had money. All right, let's move on. Some more interesting monuments. I remember seeing this. Was a popular one you'll see related to this cemetery. Magnificent work. Family vault of William Holland. Amazing workmanship. This monument is near the entry of what I would call Mausoleum Row. Look at that piece of work. A lot of pigeons here. A lot of history. Very calm, peaceful day. It's winter here. You would never know it. It's in the mid-60s. Almost not a cloud in the sky in London. How odd is that? Hey, I just thought I'd bring the sunny weather here from Arizona. Good with that, Londoners? Sure, things are going to change in the next few days. Look at this. Ouch. Missing roof. Missing windows. That was nice stained glass. Here is a dramatic monument for a man that joined the Navy at the age of 7, serving under Lord Nelson. Rose to the rank of commander, retired at the age of 27 after marrying an heiress. Got into a lot of money. Well, Charles Spencer Ricketts, you did well. This is granite and marble. Granite columns. This might be a stone, actually, not marble. It's like a limestone. It's hard to say. Look at that gargoyle. Looks like a lion. Wonder if he was serving in India colonies. Look at the coat of arms. Amazing. So there's a sarcophagus, like a casket, in this monument here that is shrouded and protected under this roof structure with arches. Looks like in the Gothic style. Yep, Royal Navy. Interesting character here in this mausoleum, James Morrison, who was plagued by illness. He cured himself by means of vegetable pills taken with lemonade. He's the one who marketed his cure as Morrison's Pills, which was quite famous. After 35 years of inexpressible suffering and experimenting with every imaginable course of medical treatment, he accomplished this cure in 1822. He was experimenting, swallowing a few vegetable pills of his own, compounding at bedtime in a glass of lemonade in the morning. 1825, his success led him to set up this vegetable universal medicines, which is commonly known as Morrison's Pills. His medicine soon became highly popular here in the west of England. In 1828, he opened an establishment for their sale in Hamilton Place, New Road, London, which he dignified with the title, the British College of Health. God love you, man. And here's an air vent. Kind of different looking one. You haven't seen one like this before. All right, let's see what's next. Well, gang, that is the Dissenters Chapel. We finally found it here on the southeast side, finally. And this is going to be our last story here at the Kensal Green. And this is a story of a woman who was plucked out of prostitution and went right to the top of society here, and it was a big scandal because no one knew originally what she was doing, and there was a lot of deception, and it was like the story of the century here. This woman named Sophie Dawes de Foucheray. That wasn't her original name. Well, Sophie was. She was born to a poor family, raised in a Newport workhouse, and then after various odd jobs, she found herself as a servant in an upper crust London house of prostitution. Servant being, she was one of the ladies. And that is where she attracted the attention of a very wealthy prince. And he made her his mistress. And he saw that she got all the things that she wanted, including an education, taking her to Paris. Now in Paris, it was there the prince arranged her 1818 marriage to a Major Adrien Victor de Foucheray of the Royal Guards. This is where the scandal started, because he had no idea. She was pretty, intelligent, well-read, and she became a favorite of the nobility. And she was in the king's court. Well, eventually, though, the word got back to Major Adrien Victor, and he learned the truth. He originally thought that Sophie was the daughter of the prince, being not the case, and then when he found out the horrific background details, in 1827 he filed for separation. And of course the king too, he quickly gave her the bounce, and Sophie found herself unwelcome in the polite society. 1829 though, she somehow persuaded the prince to sign a will leaving her 10 million francs, and died, and once again she enjoyed the royal patronage, and her niece and nephew received titles. But the prince was tired of her and of Paris and made plans to leave. Interestingly, he hanged himself in August of 1830. The common gossip was that it was Sophie who had murdered him, with or without the help from King Louis Philippe. Big scandal. Now, there was no evidence, and Sophie was never officially accused, but it was the gossip. It's getting too hot in Paris, so she came back here to London. And not much is known of her last 10 years here, living anonymously. But this is her tomb, right here. And yes, right down in there is the body of this woman. Sophie. What did you do, Sophie? Crucifix on the monument. There's no inscriptions that I can see. But Sophie, she led a pretty good life. She died December 15th, 1840. She was between 44 and 45 years old here in London. And that is the story of the scandal here, with princes and kings and all kinds of royalty. So that's going to end it here at the Kensal Green. Hope you enjoyed it. One of the Magnificent Seven here. Certainly exceeded my expectations, as has London and England so far. So I'm going to be heading out of here soon and going north, heading towards Scotland. So stay tuned, follow along. See ya.